Welcome to America's Heroes Group.
Good afternoon and welcome to America's Heroes Group Roundtable Community Outreach. November is Military Family Appreciation and Alzheimer's Disease Awareness Month. It's November 20th, 2021. I am Vietnam veteran host Cliff Kelley.
And icon and governor of talk radio. I can add so much to that name. I'm his co-host, Colonel Dr. Damon Arnold. Executive producer is Glenda Smith. Our digital media producer is Ivan Ortega of Scouts Honor Productions, doing a great job. And we have a special panelist in this room.
Yes, we
I
do.
feel so privileged. We have Dunlap. He is a U.S. Army veteran, Dorie Miller Post 915 member, and America's Heroes Group Community Outreach Ambassador. Today's discussion is going to center around the Chicago Honors Flight. And what we have is a clip we're going to play right now, and I want you to pay attention.
On this Veterans Day, we asked a group of children to share words expressing their gratitude to Americans who have served in the military. This sixth grade class in Clifton, Virginia, took the time to craft some very heartfelt letters showing their appreciation to previous generations of service members. Those letters are being read by veterans of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam who visit the nation's capital as part of the Honor Flight Network. The program brings them to Washington to see the memorials built in honor of their service and their sacrifice.
Dear veteran.
Dear veteran.
Dear veterans, thank you for your service and support.
Benjamin wrote me a letter and he said, "Dear veteran, thank you for your service.
We appreciate your great and honorable sacrifice.
You have performed a proud and honorable duty and sacrificed in a way that few in this present generation can understand
or appreciate." That's powerful. I'm so proud of you. Keep being amazing. Heart, 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 heart.
I like hearts. I know it must have been scary at times, but you kept staying strong, and I'll be forever grateful for that.
Thank you for fighting for our country. You're an angel from God.
I know it is hard to lose a friend, and it was hard to keep fighting for our country.
I can't think or imagine what it would be like to be away from your family and friends for a long period of time.
It starts out, you are awesome.
Thank you for not giving up even when all seems lost, for being strong even when you might feel weak. You have given your life and dedication towards America. You are a strong, brave hero, and I thank you with all my heart. I can't imagine what you have gone through.
We will never forget what you have done with our country, ever. America would never be the same if it weren't for you and what you have done.
Thank you for shaping America into what it is today, and thank you for giving all your blood, sweat, and tears for our country.
Every day we raise the flag. Every day we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I think it's sad that it's not every day we honor wonderful people like you.
Yes, we have memorials, but we don't always say thank you in words like a letter or a card like this. Thank you.
I hope after everything you've done for our country, you will live a long and happy life.
I am unbelievably proud of your service.
You are one of many soldiers that helped lead our country to freedom. You will be honored and known for your great and unselfish sacrifice. Our country would not be the same
without you veterans. All of the veterans out there are all heroes.
I hope you enjoy your flight to Washington, D.C. The memorial is really beautiful. I hope you like it as much as I do. Sincerely, Benjamin.
Yaya.
Hannah.
Flynn Palacios.
Maddie. Many thank yous. Ella
Montgomery. Thank you very much, Ella.
And very thanks to you, sweetheart. This is a great letter and makes me feel really good.
I want to tell Benjamin he's going to have a good life. If you see a veteran on the street, just say hello. It's a wonderful experience for any of us, and it's very memorable. I'm not used to getting that kind of accolades. It's like somebody in your dreams.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Mm-hmm. You know, as you're sitting at the table, I was just thinking, you know, when you're saying your prayers at your Thanksgiving table, thank God, but then thank your veterans too. that made it possible for you to sit there in peace and eat and have a family meal together. And Sel Dunlap is here. You know, he went on an honor flight, and myself, I missed the Revolutionary War flight, so I couldn't get there. But yeah, tell me, Sel, so I haven't gone on one. How was it?
To the point, it was a healing experience. A healing experience. To first of all get to Midway at 4 a.m. and to see all of those people. Now, I was on time, but there were some veterans who were absolutely true to the spirit of being on time. They got there much earlier than I did.
Wow.
And the place was packed with veterans, volunteers. It was just amazing. They finally got us together, and we were on the plane, 6 busloads of us. When we got to Dulles, there were 2 fire trucks on either side of the plane as we taxied into the terminal, and they shot water over the plane. It freaked us out, freaked us out, freaked us out.
In honor.
And then when we got into the facility, a band was there. Firemen, policemen, volunteers saying, "Welcome home," waving their flags, waving pieces of paper. It was amazing. We went to all of the places of recognition for veterans, and again, it was just so touching and meaningful to all of us, To have experienced it can only be overshadowed by more veterans getting involved, taking advantage of this trip. More black veterans need to be aware of this opportunity. We went for so long without anybody acknowledging anything about what we had done. And however late it's coming, I think we need to take advantage of it, consume it. When we got back to Midway that night, again, there were 2 fire trucks out there, but this time they really drenched that plane with water. And when we got inside the terminal, they had 1 million people out there. Wow. Oh, God, it was so many people. The band was playing.
Wow.
It was so emotional.
Yeah.
I got overcome.
Yes.
Wasn't ashamed.
No, of course not.
Wasn't ashamed.
That's wonderful.
I just felt so good, and it's something that more veterans need to do, need to take advantage of this. The crew that pulled this effort together, I wish I had brought some of their names, but they did a magnificent job.
Yeah.
Initially, they asked me if I wanted a wheelchair. I said, hell no, I don't need a wheelchair. You know, they said, no, there's going to be quite a bit of walking out there. So I said, hell yeah, give me a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And the guardian who was with me, his first name was Jeff.
Yeah.
But Jeff did a tremendous job in chauffeuring me around to the different sites that we went to. He proved to be a very, very, very excellent day companion. And I just enjoyed his spirit, his understanding of what was going on.
What did it feel like? So, you know, because what I'm thinking about is, you know, they put the Vietnam Memorial there.
Yeah.
And it's in the place where you have Jefferson Memorial, you have the Lincoln Memorial. I mean, these are places of high honor for this country.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and Washington, D.C., named after the first president. And you are in a place where they are honoring you and recognizing your contributions to this country.
The Vietnam Memorial served to encourage the other memorials to be built. We had ignored the World War II veterans, the Korean veterans, for far too long. And it was because of the Vietnam Wall that so many people thought was just an ugly wall. But it turned out to be a contribution to that site, to Washington, D.C., to the nation. And certainly it was an honor for us. I had an opportunity to trace the name of my bunkmate that I had in basic. And we also had jungle training at Fort Polk, Louisiana before going over. He got killed 2 months after we got there. Now, you hear people talking about veterans feeling guilty. I have felt guilty all my life. I have. When I finally signed up for PTSD, the first question that the doctor asked me, do you feel guilty? And I went to crying like a blue ribbon fool, and I asked him in a very vulgar way, why did you ask me that? But it all started coming out. It started coming out, and I've always felt that if I had been there, I could have saved Cruz. I've always felt that way. I used to take, he was a little small cat out of Detroit. And I used to take care of him in basic. You know how sometimes people can, take advantage of other veterans, but everybody knew, don't bother Cruz. Don't bother.
Right.
And
because you had the big brother watching over.
You damn right. So did quite a few other folk did.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't mess with him either.
But it was another opportunity. I was able to get his whole name. I've always wanted to go to Detroit to try to find him, however late this might be, to try to find his family, rather, to just let them know that I knew him. Well, and how much I thought of him, still think of him.
Obviously.
And a couple of my relatives' names were on those walls also.
Yes, same.
So again, it was an opportunity, and I can't help but encourage you as strongly as I can to take advantage of that. Sorry again, I don't have the telephone number, but if the listeners would just look up Chicago Honor Flight, you'll get the information, sign up for it. You'll be thanking me later. For having turned you on to it. It's just great.
Describe it to me how you felt as you were seeing the different monuments, because it sounds like you spent the day there. What was it like? I mean, because that emotional part it's got to be overcoming.
Well, I was aside from the Vietnam walls.
Yes.
I was moved by the Korean War. I had a brother who was in the Korean War.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been gone now for about 10 years, but that was very moving and touching to me to be able to see something that was recognizing him for his contribution to this community.
So you have two brothers represented there by two walls.
Yes. It was great. And then to see the World War II memorial. Now there was a lot of opposition to that because those opposed to it felt that it was going to break eye contact with a couple of other significant landmarks in D.C. And what they ended up doing was they dug down some so that that view wouldn't be blocked. And it was, again, an amazing tribute to the World War II.
You know what, you saw when you said that, I was just thinking, now, I got to step back for a second. Now, they call it Washington, D.C. because General Washington had an army that sort of founded the country. And the first thing you should be seeing is a veteran.
Yeah.
Something telling you about made the other buildings and other monuments possible.
Possible, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, when they were sharing this with us as we journeyed to that site, what problems were being raised by the opposition, I was saying to myself, damn, people always got to come up with some type of dumb mess. But after I got there, I saw that what was done,
it's phenomenal.
Covered their concern while at the same time providing the World War II their due. And there were several World War II veterans on the trip. It was a good mixture.
Great.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, I just really enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that. And I can't thank those who pull it together. In fact, they said it was this effort was started by one person who was he was carrying people out to D.C. in his own plane, wanting them to see it. Yeah, that's how it got started. And then it mushroomed into what it is now, and the different things that they did for us, the silent performance that was done by the Marines. I mean, these cats stepped out there, and it was just amazing.
I think I know I've mentioned it to our producer, Glenda Smith, because I have seen so many of those honor flights come back on the news.
Yes.
You know, on the news at night or whatever, and it's just a wonderful thing.
It is.
You know, I said anybody who can put that together and go needs to do that.
Yeah.
I certainly want to do it at some point.
Please do.
Yeah. You know.
Monday, I want to make sure that Glenda call.
Okay.
Yeah, and give them your name. Yeah, sign you up right away. And I won't be able to go for a second trip now. There are quite a few.
Well, we have to work something out.
Yeah, but I will drive out there, Cliff, if whenever that they're going to fly you out, I'll drive out there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and be able to participate and witness that again, you know, in your company.
That's great.
In your company. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is open to all branches, right? It's not just
all.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, all branches. Yeah.
All of us. All of us. All of us. It was very lifting. You know, everybody wants to, I think, feel appreciated and recognized.
Oh, sure.
You know, however humble we might try to come across, there's something.
Well, you know, you're right about that, and that's obvious based on all the things you've done. But a lot of folks never think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when it does, and folks like yourself and others, it just makes it even, as we say, more better.
Yeah, more better.
Yeah.
A more better flight.
Yeah. More better flight, yeah.
Absolutely.
A more better flight.
And if I can be completely honest with you,
Yes.
I thought it was just going to be a day that I was going to, you know, take to. Actually, I had called some relatives and told them I was coming out there. And I would let them know, you know, where to come pick me up. And I was going to spend the day with them.
Oh, to get
all right.
Get some fish or
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, while they did whatever to it. Look, there's no way on this earth I would have missed that.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There was no way on earth I would have even suggested not being there had I known what was planned for us. It was just a complete blessing from the moment I got to Midway to the moment that I got in my vehicle and headed for home.
You know, the history, the military history is just so great. My dad used to take my brother and I to Midway Airport because we loved to see the planes come in.
Yes, sir.
But I've always wondered, I didn't wonder then because I didn't know, but the Battle of Midway was one of the most important in World War II.
Okay.
And I've always wondered whether, maybe I'll find out one day, whether the airport was named after that battle. Yeah.
Exactly. It was maybe 20 years ago I got the full understanding of how O'Hare got its name, and it was the result of somebody in the military.
That pilot, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
You're right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can I say something about the parts of the show that you had on earlier regarding the homeless veterans?
Oh, yeah.
I just picked up 3 coats that I had cleaned that I was going to drop off over at Congressman Davis' office.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And
Davis, he does a lot. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
He does a lot.
But I do want to make sure that my coats, go to veterans.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to apologize for not meeting you all on the 11th
Mm-hmm.
to feed the veterans. I misunderstood and thought that we were going to be doing it for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And
It was a great event.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you would have loved it.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But I am going to support some effort that will be taking place on Thanksgiving to recognize veterans just for that day.
Great.
And the counseling that I know is available to us. I want to further encourage them to get with someone to help write out a plan, if you will, for what you want to do to get out of your ditch, get out of your hole, get out of your rut, get out of your gutter. That's what's got to be a part of it, too, aiding veterans to understand. Now, this is how you can get out of this damn mess. But there's something that you've got to do yourself. You know, we can't drag you along, but if you have an inkling of an iota of a desire, you know, to improve yourself, we can provide them with the type of resources that's needed to aid them to get to where they should have been in the first damn place.
Yes.
So that's where I am in terms of wanting to get involved with.
This is just wonderful, so having you
sure
here
is.
and telling that story, because it validates what people have given their lives for, you know, and what they continue to do.
Yeah. And if I can say something about you, good doctor, I've enjoyed the way that you have been handling the ship, man.
Oh,
While the captain was, temporarily out.
Oh, he's back, and I'm glad to have that icon back, because I cannot fill the shoes.
He's great.
He is phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely, Cliff.
And I got someone who's pushing me and saying, what time we supposed to stop and what time we're supposed to do things.
Yeah.
And she starts doing this little dance. I know it's over. I got to get out the way.
Yeah.
But I have our director and Glenda Smith come over here. Or over there. You got the microphone?
I will lovingly share the microphone with my godfather, mentor, the governor of Talk Radio.
And she's on camera too. See, this is the first time you've been on camera.
I know, because I'm laid back under the radar. You know how I do. Normally, I close out the show with thanking different components of our organization network, but this show today is dedicated to Mr. Sal Dunlap. Uncle Sal, as I lovingly call him, and
Thank you.
Get tearful, and I'm not going to be tearful.
Thank you.
Because 3 years ago, Uncle Sal walked into Jesse Brown VA and met with the previous director, Mark McGill, and told him there's a show on WVON every Saturday called America's Heroes Group with the governor of Talk Radio, Cliff Kelley, Vietnam veteran. They have put down a flagship of a radio show that our voice now is being represented, heard, and are talking about concerns and issues that we need to talk about and needs to be addressed. A month later, we partnered with Jesse Brown VA because Sal Dunlap, Uncle Sal, walked into that office and told the director of Jesse Brown VA, America's Heroes Group is where you want to be, to have a voice where veterans are represented. He then walked across the street a month later over to the Veterans Benefits Administration and demanded to meet with that director, Hughes Turner, who's no longer there, and explained to him basically the same thing. Benefits are how our veterans are so disconnected at this point to information. America's Heroes Group is a place you have to be to get that resource and information out. 1 month later, we then partnered with Veterans Benefits Chicago Regional Office, Veterans Benefits Administration. Their undersecretary at that time, Dr. Paul R. Lawrence, heard about this program show and called the office and asked could they be on America's Heroes Group. All this is a result of Sal Dunlap, who has empowered America's Heroes Group, who has helped us network this show, and he and I are working on another project that we're about to announce in January. Because he is an ambassador that is really about the business of being about business. Because he understands this microphone makes a difference with that, who's talking and who's heard, who's being represented in terms of information and resources that our veteran community needs, or I should say our military population. So this show is dedicated to the one and only.
Great.
Uncle Sal Dunlap.
Thank you,
I
Susan.
love you because
Thank
I rely heavily. I rely heavily on his voice and his guidance and his wisdom. So, yes, everyone.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving on behalf of
to all of our homeless veterans, their families, the people who have disabilities who have got injured in war, all of them. And those who are not with us anymore, we love you and God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving on behalf of America's Heroes Group.